Hey everyone, hope you're all well. This video is going to be a short stretching routine that we can all do from home, or if you have access to a garden, then by all means use that while the sun's out, get some fresh air, as long as you're self-isolated, obviously. So the main reason for doing this video, not only to improve flexibility and everything, but at the moment, with the lockdown, a lot of us are finding ourselves either stuck on a chair or on the sofa or laying down in bed for prolonged periods of time. And although that can feel good and it's nice and relaxing, it can also lead to muscle tightness and give us little aches and pains from oversitting. So the aim of this is just that, every once in a while you can just take a little break. This video, the routine itself shouldn't take longer than 15 minutes. So you can just take a little 15-minute break, do some stretches, and then crack on with the rest of it. This will target more or less the whole body. Take it nice and easy, like don't overstretch, don't overdo it. And the whole purpose of this routine is that, just to help yourselves feel better, relieve any tension that you have, and just kind of relax. I do recommend, however, just doing a little bit of a warm up before you start, just to warm up those muscles up. It'll just make you a bit more comfortable and reduce any risk of potentially injuring yourself by overstretching. So if you have a skipping rope or just stairs, just do a little something for maybe a couple minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, and then crack on with the routine. So this video has been done in a way that you guys can all follow along to and do it as I do. And I think throughout the video I'm just going to narrate what I'm doing, just to give a bit more clarification, any tips, pointers. And yeah, you don't really need much equipment for this. I put a mat out because I did this on the roof, so the surface was kind of rough. So I just put a little picnic blanket out just to, make it a bit more comfortable for my hands. And the only piece of equipment I really used was a broomstick. If you have any kind of stick, even a resistance band, you can use to put some tension, just because I did some overhead movements for the shoulders, just some mobility exercises. If not, you could probably even use your saber. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy, and let's get on with it. Okay, so to start off with, we're just going to stretch our neck. So here I'm just tucking my chin in, and then just applying some light downwards pressure at the back of my head with my hands. And I'm just holding it for a couple seconds. Okay, and now we're just going to do a neck stretch, but to the side. So all we're going to do is just pull our head to one side with our hand gently, and then with the opposite shoulder, we're just going to force that down slowly. So we should feel the stretch on the side of our neck. And we're just going to hold that at a comfortable position for a few seconds, and then we're just going to switch over and do the same again, but for the other side. Okay, so pretty much the same thing again, except this time, rather than looking straight ahead as we're stretching our neck to the side, we're just going to look down to the floor of that side. And then once we've done that, we're going to do it for the other side as well, just like before. Hands to the sky stretch. So interlock your fingers, and then you're going to put palms facing to the sky, and you're just going to stretch and reach as high as you can possibly. And you should just really feel a stretch happening kind of on your back, down your lats, maybe even at the front of your chest, and potentially your abs if you're tight. And yeah, you're just going to hold it. Okay, so a classic deltoid stretch. So all we're going to do is we're going to put one arm across our body, and then with the opposite arm, we're just going to cradle it and push that arm towards our chest. and keep your palms facing towards you at all times. Once we've done that for a couple seconds on one side, we're going to change and do it for the other side. Tricep stretch. So yeah, just put your one arm behind your head with your elbow flexed, and then with the other one, you're going to be pulling that elbow towards the opposite side. So you should really feel a stretch happening at that tricep. Once we've done that for a couple seconds, we're then going to swap and do it for the other side. Okay, so now we're just going to use a bar or whatever you have just to do some general mobility. So just put your hands on the bar at a nice comfortable distance that you can kind of go for a full rotation. It shouldn't be too painful. If you're feeling it too much, then widen your grip. And all we're doing here, we're just going to go up and down. Potentially, sometimes we're just going to stop at a point where we really feel a stretch. So there we just had a good stretch for the chest. And we're just going to stop at different points and then go through that whole full range of motion. If at any point you feel it's too painful, just stop, let go with one of your hands and widen that grip and then carry on. Okay, so now we're just going to hold our bar above our head and we're just going to keep our feet fixed and we're just going to rotate from side to side just to kind of mobilize that back and spine. If you want, you can also just put the bar on your shoulders when doing this as opposed to over your head. Really, whatever you prefer and you find more comfortable. So classic yoga stretch now. So you're just going to go on your knees and on your palms. And all you're going to do is you're going to go take a deep breath in. And as you do so, you're going to rise your back. You're going to really arch it with your neck down. And then you're going to then exhale. And then you're going to go into that cow pose, sorry, with your head up and your back arching. And you're just going to repeat this for a couple seconds, a couple reps. Okay, so going from that cow-cat stretch, we're now going to sit on our heels and we're going to keep our hands kind of in front of us on the ground and we're going to really stretch our lats. So you should feel your back stretching as you do this and then you're going to alternate moving your hands to one side and the other, and in doing so you should feel a greater stretch on your lats when you do so. So the lunge now to stretch our hip flexors. So we're going to go in a lunge position, as you can see in the video. Make sure that your knee at the front is at 90 degrees. Make sure you don't go over your toes with that knee. And in order to really get that stretch, we're going to contract our glutes. So we're going to be pushing our pelvis inwards, and that's going to give us a better stretch. And then we're also going to lift our hands up and also do a little bit of rotation just to kind of get a good all-round stretch. Once we've done that for one side, we're then going to switch over and do the other side. World's greatest stretch. As the name suggests, this is a great stretch, kind of does all body. So you're going to go in that sort of a lunge position, similar to a fencing lunge, but you're going to have your feet facing forwards. And then you're going to put your opposite hand to the foot in front on the ground next to your foot. And then you're going to rotate towards your leg that's in front of you. And then you're just going to kind of hold it there. You're just going to feel the stretch, and you should really kind of feel it going through your glutes, your the legs, your back, even your chest as you're opening up. And yeah, it's a really good stretch all around. Really recommend this one. Okay, so glute stretch. We're going to lie on our back, and we're going to cross our legs over, and making sure that our knees are at 90 degrees. And then with the leg that's not being crossed over, we're going to bring that towards our chest until we feel a good stretch, and then we're just going to hold it there. Hold it for a while, and then once you're done and you feel comfortable, you're then going to move over onto the next leg, and you're just going to repeat it. Okay, so a deep squat. So feet shoulder width apart. You're going to squat down. Make sure when you're squatting deeply that your heels aren't coming off the ground and that your torso remains upright. If you find your torso is leaning forward or your heels are coming off the ground, you've probably gone down too far for your limit. So just go up a bit. And then with your elbows, you're going to interlock them between your knees, and you're just going to push just to get an extra stretch of those adductors. Sorry for the bad transition there. The camera fell and I had to get it back up. Anyways, so here we're going to be doing a similar thing. We're going to be squatting, except this time we're going to be holding the bar over our heads, and this is just going to add an extra element of stretch to our back. And now that here, when I'm facing sideways, as you can see, make sure that when you're doing this, you're keeping your back nice and straight in a straight line. So I'd be able to draw a straight line from my glutes all the way up to my neck. And that's what we're aiming for here. Nice and simple here. Everyone knows this one. You're just going to grab your ankle, stand on one leg, and you're just going to pull it back till you feel a stretch across your quads. Once you've held it for a couple seconds on one leg, you're going to swap and do the other one. So classic hamstring stretch now. We're just going to sit on the floor with one leg stretched in front of us, and nice and simple, we're just going to try and reach our toes. If you can't, not a problem, don't overdo it. You just want to make sure you're feeling a good stretch on that hamstring, and if need be, just lean forward a bit more to get an extra stretch. But when you're doing so, try and keep that lower back nice and straight. You don't want to arch over too much, as then you're actually taking the pressure off the hamstrings and not doing as good of a stretch. But yeah, so do it for both legs. Okay, the downward dog, another classic yoga move. So for this one, nice and simple, you're just going to put your hands on the floor and your feet slightly further behind. And then all you're going to be doing, you're going to be bending at the hips, keeping your legs and back straight. So only go as far as you can in order to maintain a straight back and straight legs. And you're just going to do it so that you feel a stretch, kind of the whole posterior chain. So you should feel your back stretching, your hamstrings stretching, your calves. And you're basically going to do that. And then once you've done for that while, you're going to do something called walking the dog, which is what's happening now. So you're just going to bend your knees, alternating between leg as you bend them. And it's going to be kind of like in a walking motion. So you're going to bend one at a time and then the other. And then just keep readjusting yourself so that you're comfortable and you're getting the best stretch that you can. And that concludes today's stretching routine. I hope you've all enjoyed it, had good fun, and that you're feeling a lot looser and more flexible. And that's it. Take care, guys. Bye.